funk. Thoughts deep, boys steeped in the depths that he sunk. Big stress, depressed in the middle of fall. Sky gray, I late in the thick of it all. I wonder, how long can a human survive just staying alive or carrying the rest of the tribe? Waiting for the day to arrive or struggling dies, and I be doing way, way more than getting by. So why? Cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Realize life is so much more than just living a day. Every day I can sit and reflect and reconnect to myself and know that I've been given. See, giving up is not an option. So when I'm looking at gray skies, I'll be adopting a new way to deal with a test. Lord, relieve me of stress to bring me looking like when blessings drop in. And so I cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, here we go. Yeah. Let's do this. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Test. Let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Woo.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Salute, y'all. Salute, welcome, y'all. Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in to another one episode. We are going to continue reacting to the Tap In podcast, Dating After 40. Is it a joke or a journey? This will be the conclusion of this series that we're doing, all right? This is going to be the conclusion of it. Shout out to each and every last one of y'all who are tuned in to the show tonight. Appreciate y'all a whole lot. Appreciate each and every last one of y'all who are also going to catch the replay of the stream as well too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a whole lot. I was I was kind of just reflecting on this last episode of this series, right? I was doing a lot of reflecting on it, and I was thinking about a lot of different things that, normally I was talking about, right? But what the other panelists was talking about as well on the Tap In podcast, And so I was reflecting on that a lot, and I had came up with a conclusion about this, all right? Came up with an interesting conclusion. Now, men such as SBK and also such as Lionel and, probably other men out there, they came up with the conclusion that dating after 40 or dating after 30 is trash. They came up to the conclusion that, just the whole dating market period is trash. After me just really reviewing the show, giving my perspective on it and listening to everybody else's perspective, to be honest with you, I honestly have came up with that same conclusion as well. I came up with that same conclusion as well, that dating after 40 is a joke, dating after 30 is a joke. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I came up with this conclusion is because, this is due to my personal anecdotal experience on used to be out there in the dating market. I can relate to, how the gentlemen feel about, the current situation with the dating market, about the current type of, women that they interact with. Now I know that, immediately, the women, they'll push back on that and they'll simply say that, well, you sit up here choosing these type of women, or you need to choose better, or different things like that, right? But here's the thing about that, right? Let's say in the same sense that the men are choosing better. Let's say in the same sense that the men have did everything possible to deprogram themselves, like I stated in part 1 of the show, right? Deprogram themselves, unplug them from the matrix, and they start doing things to better themselves so that could be part of a higher social economical status. Let's say that they're doing that and they have did that and they have mastered that, right? Once when they master it, they decided hey, you know what, I'm still going to be about my father's business, and I'm still going to be working and doing things that I need to, doing stuff, right? But at the same time, I am kind of interested of, meeting a woman where, I could share my empire with, you know what I mean? Let's say if they had the same mindset, enter into the current dating market right now, right? They have to go through the process of interviewing different women over and over and over again to see if they qualify for, the type of lifestyle that he want to present to them. But after countless interviews over and over and over again, you run into the same type of behavior archetype of women out there. This is the issues that men are running across. It's as though as that the men, they become unplugged and they start doing everything possible to improve themselves. But the women, on the other hand, do not improve themselves. They be stationary. It's almost as though they be so egotistical where they have this false ideology stated that you should accept me for how the way I am, period. Accept me for how the way I am. I'm not going to change. If you can't deal with this, if you can't handle this strong, independent woman, then guess what? I'm just not for you. In that sense, she's absolutely correct.
She's absolutely correct. She is absolutely correct. If we can't handle this strong, independent, feminist woman, then by all means, gentlemen, send her out the door for real. Send her out the door. You don't have to entertain her or anything like that. Unless if you want to be that dude that, you just run across these type of women, you just pump and dump them and it just is what it is, then it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If they allow you access like that, other than that, she's right. Continue to live your life and put yourself in a status where when you do run into that one woman one day, she'll be on the same playing level as you. That's how the way I see it. A matter of fact, me and Lionel, we was having one conversation last night. We was talking and stuff, right? And so Lionel had mentioned about he was mentioning about the diamond in the rough thing, right? And this conversation came about because he was talking about Mrs. Urban and stuff, right? And so he was commending me how I literally found my wife. You know what I'm saying? He was commending me on that. He was also commending, the type of woman that she is and everything, right? And so the term diamond in the rough came into the conversation. I had told this to Lionel. I said this, and this is actually true. I like do you know that it takes a diamond a process for them to become a diamond? Once again, it takes a diamond a process for them to actually become a diamond, for them to be a diamond in the rough and ultimately be discovered. What is that process? It takes for them to be tried by fire. Those of y'all who are not familiar with the process of how diamonds are created through, first it start off through coal, okay? Coal go through this whole process of being pressurized, and then being pressurized, through heat and different things like that, and it goes through all these different conditions and pressures and different things like that and stuff, right? And so it go through this for a very long time. Some coals don't make it to be a diamond, but very few coals qualify to make it to be that diamond process. And guess what? Right after that, right after when they make that process, guess what? The process doesn't end right there. Right when it turns to a diamond, right? Guess what? The next process is this. A person who's a jewelry salesman or whatever, a diamond salesman, guess what they do? They'll have to literally, after when they find it, they'll literally have to dig that diamond out and stuff, right? Then after that, they have to take it to a jeweler and stuff, right? They take it to the jeweler and let that diamond be molded and fitted into how the way the diamond needs to be, or they bring purpose to that particular diamond. Why am I saying this? It's because likewise, in the same as that token, and women, y'all don't want to hear this reality of this, but this is how it is. You consider yourself as a diamond or a gem or whatever the case may be, right? Some of y'all have not even gone through that full pressure into becoming an actual diamond. Then when you do become that diamond, it's almost as though as you want to reject the whole process of being molded and fitted into the purpose that you need to be. This goes into the whole process about women being a helpmeet. Work with me on this, all right? This goes to the whole process about a woman being a helpmeet. Do you know the whole process about a woman being a helpmeet is that woman literally have to be molded and fitted to be conditioned where she could be suitable for that type of man? It's not the other way around. It's not the man who goes through this process, but it's the woman who goes through this process. So the problem is this. The problem is that many women who are part of this feminist ideology, right? They hate the word of being molded. They hate the word of submission as well too. Do you know that a diamond doesn't have a choice but other than to be submitted into the purpose that they need to be? The only way that diamond is going to fit into the ring and stuff, right, is that they have to be cut and they have to be conditioned. They have to be molded into the way that they need to be so it can fit into that ring. Same process with dealing with men, you know what I'm saying? You have to be molded and you have to be fitted into that particular man that you want to go after or want to be with. That is how the way life is, period. If women can't accept that simple ideology, if they can't accept their role, then there ain't no point in them even being part of the relationship. Hence, that's the reason why men digress and don't be want to be in relationships with women, period. Hence, that also goes with the process where men do not want to even look for a woman. They want to just be about their purpose, and that's it. So I'm saying all this just to give y'all wisdom on this. You know what I'm saying? To give you wisdom and understanding the purpose behind it, understand the purpose about a man and the purpose about, women being women as well too. But we live in a modern day time where it's the diamonds up here trying to tell the juror how the way they should be molded and fitted into, the reality, which that don't work like that at all, period. It doesn't work like that. As soon as modern women accept that reality about their true role and their true purpose, the sooner that this, as y'all call, alleged gender war will come to an end. I'm just saying. But we are going to get into this content again. Just like I say, this is going to be the final part of this content that we're going to talk about tonight. I talked about a lot of things in part 3, by the way. Like I mentioned earlier, I talked about a lot of things in part 3, man. Another conclusion that I came up with was this. It was mentioned about, tone and stuff, right? Toning or tone police and different things like that, about how the way, I present certain things, on the live and different things like that, right? And I started thinking about that, right? The conclusion that I came up with that is that it's not about the tone. It's not about the tone. Never been about the tone. It's about the whole point that modern women do not accept accountability. They only want accountability to be only one way, even though they tend to say it's both. Both people need to be accountable, but deep down inside, these modern women with this feminist behavior and this feminist attitude, right? Deep down inside, they don't want to be held accountable. When you challenge accountability on them, it messes up their ego. It literally messes up their ego, so they'll find any way possible to win. Even saying things like, well, you need to say it in a way that I want you to say it. No, that ain't how they work at all. I'd rather for a person to be brutally honest with me, definitely on the sell per fake cake and be flaky with me and lie. But it's almost as though the modern women, that's what they want myself and other men as well too to do, is to literally fake with them, to be flaky with them and literally lie. That's to stroke their ego. If that's the type of man that you're looking for, then by all means go after them type of simple ass beta men. Because they will definitely will do that for you. They'll definitely will give you that. They'll definitely be a yes man. They'll definitely submit to you while you're not going to submit to them and everything. If that's what you desire, then by all means go after those type of men. But however, over here at the lounge and other content creators as well too, we're building up true men. We're building up on men, and we're waking men up to the reality of who they truly are, period. If you don't believe in the ideology of it, fine, it is what it is. But over here, we're building up true men. We're building up men who going to hold themselves to a high standard. We're building up true men who going to hold themselves accountable as well too. We're holding up men who's going to be unplugged, where they're going to recognize a feminist woman when they see them. We're building up men where they're not just going to look at a woman based on how the way she look, but they're going to immediately examine her character and see where she's at, where they could pick up immediately if that woman's feminist or not. Because a feminist woman is not going to go well with a masculine man. It never works out. It never works out. In the Bible, it talks about for the love of money and different things like that, right? But they also talk about, you can't serve two masters, right? You have to serve one or the other. It also talk about how can two walk together if they don't agree, right? So how in the hell a masculine man could walk together with a feminist woman? It just doesn't work, because what's going to ultimately happen is that energy is going to clash, and one person going to end up submitting. In this modern age and modern time, dealing with that type of feminist woman, more than likely, if that man is as strong in his masculinity, guess what? That woman is going to manipulate him into, literally stepping out of his masculinity, where he literally end up lowering himself. She'll use different manipulative methods, such as the main method she'll use is her body. She'll set up use her body, and after when, she'll have sex with him, whatever, and set up her pillow talk this dude out of his masculinity. That does facts. So what we doing over here, we're building up men who's going to recognize these type of modern women, so you don't even have to deal with them unless you're just trying to smash them. But you don't have to deal with them. You don't even have to be in a relationship with them, because you're going to recognize their behavior right then and there. You are. That's what we're doing over here. And if you don't agree with it, oh well, who cares? It don't matter. If you feel like the tone need to be changed over here, oh well, because it is not going to happen at all. It's not going to happen. I done seen too many other content creators who talk about this, right? Where they keep going back and forth with this so many times, and every single time you get women who are infiltrate over here and stuff, right? And they'll pretend that they're cool with you, right? They pretend that they're for, the content and different things like that, but in reality, they're literally scheming, because they literally trying to mold you into the way that they want you to be. I done seen content creators that started off, talk about content like this, and next day, they say talking about tea content, talk about tea sector content, or talking about content that women talk about all the time, because these type of women infiltrated their content and literally manipulate them to convince them to do other content because they don't want to hear it. Or like I didn't hear from my channel and other channels, right? If you don't do this content, if you don't want to do this content the way that I want you to do it, then we're gonna boycott you. Shit.
That's bullshit.
I don't give a damn about no boycotting, because as you can see, I'm still here. I'm still here, still kicking, and the lounge is still kicking the way that it's kicking for real. And over here, I'm just that type of one, man, that I don't bend nor waver with a modern woman, period. It just is what it is. No modern woman is not going to tell me what I should do, period. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, and this is how the way we should be men, we should be as men. At the end of the day, we are the leaders. We are the head, not them, not modern feminist women. We are the head. What final decision that we make, it should come to us, and we just deal with the consequences of it, whether it's positive or negative. That's what men do. But however, what modern women do, they want to pretend that they are on that same level, right? But when it comes down to accountability, guess what? They run from accountability. They'll gaslight accountability. They'll manipulate accountability. But for us as men, whatever happens to us, whether it's positive or negative, guess what? We're going to deal with it. We're going to deal with it. And we're going to hold ourselves accountable. And that's what we do over here at the lounge. That's what we do over here at the lounge. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the content for today. Make sure y'all want to hit the thumbs up to support the channel. I did want to share this video with y'all real quick before we get into the content. All right, I actually had ran across this video. I ran across this video on TikTok. All right, and so this situation kind of goes with what I was talking to y'all about almost 2 months ago, when I was talking about chivalry and men being a gentleman and different things like that. Let me go ahead and share this with y'all, and I want to get y'all perspective on this. Okay, so here it is right here. Hear this right here. This is a situation that happened on a airline. I believe this is on Southwest Airline. And so a situation had happened on Southwest Airline where this man, he's actually a MMA fighter and stuff, right? He got kicked off the plane for whatever crazy reason. And so the flight attendants, which are women and stuff, right, they're forcing him to get off the plane, and everybody else on the plane is trying to force him to get off as well too. All right. So let me go ahead and share this with y'all. I'm gonna give you a little bit more context afterwards. Okay.
I have to get my bag.
Get your bag and go.
You're a loser. No, she's quick better than you. Hey, at least she's taking care of her. Hey, you take care of your kids.
SBK, salute.
Take care of your kids. Worry about yourself.
No, I'm not playing. Go.
You started this.
Bye. The fuck? Bye.
Hey. Assault. Abuse. Go to the cops. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Hey. Oh, God. Don't fucking touch me. No. Don't touch me. Nobody touch you. Nobody touch me.
You need to go. No, like people need to see it.
You.
Now, check this out. As you can see, the dude is a bit irate. He's, the women, they're telling him to get off the plane and, different things like that. We can all agree that Buddy was acting like a straight beta, even though he was an MMA fighter, all right? He was acting like a straight beta in a situation, all right? We can agree to that. But the reason why I'm sharing this video with y'all is because I was looking at the comment section, right? Do you know that the women in the comment section was simply talking about, where are the men? Why the men didn't get up and kick him off the plane? And they kept saying that repeatedly in the comment section. When I saw that, I was like, shoot.
That's bullshit.
I was like, shoot. Like, why do y'all expect for a man to sit up here and be chivalrous towards you, to be, as y'all call, a gentleman, and literally put his life on the line to deal with a dude? And not only does this dude is not a normal dude. This dude is a professional fighter. So y'all literally want these grown men on this plane to get up and defend y'all honor just so y'all can feel protected. And then to top it off, right, I was looking at the comment section, right? The men that was rebuttaling back, they was separate talking about, well, sure, y'all said that y'all choose the bird over us, so hey, this is the world we living in. Y'all said that y'all don't need us, that hey, this is the world that we living in. Y'all said that y'all wanted to be equal towards us, hey, this is the world we living in. Deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, right? On top of that, they was sitting up here literally saying that the man should have got up and fight this dude. And the man was sitting up here saying, like, shoot, you want me to risk not being on the no-fly list? I'm not doing that. But women go back, the women on there was going back, was saying, well, if that's the risk you got to take, then you have to protect our honor and stuff. You see the false ideology behind it? Where these same type of women and stuff, right, they be thinking like this, right, that they don't care about what happened to the man. They don't care about the man mental health. They don't care about if he ended up losing certain privileges. They don't care about none of that. All they care about is their egotistical attitudes, and that's it. This is the reason why I was telling you men that you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be chivalrous. You shouldn't be a white knight or anything like that for women that you do not know, period. Because the women do not care about that. They don't care about if you literally going to lose your life over this. They don't care. They don't care. Hell, if you were to lose your life, they're not going to go to your funeral. They're not going to pay for your funeral costs or anything like that. All they're going to say is simply, oh, he was a good man. Maybe get on the TikTok, yeah, he was a good man. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So, fellas, do not put yourself into these situations, period. Do not sit up here white knight over women that you do not know, period. Now, it's different if you're doing it for, either your wife, maybe your girlfriend, children or different things like that. It's different. But for a person that you don't know, don't do it. Don't put yourself out there like that, period. Do not do it. Don't do it. Because it's just not worth it. A matter of fact, that's why they held the police there as well, too. Because the flight attendant could have easily called the police. I wonder why they didn't do that. They could have easily just called the police. The police would have removed the gentleman off the plane easily. So that's why I wanted to share that with y'all real quick. That's the one, just to share that with y'all and understand the reason why I say what I say. Okay. But let's get into this content right here. Constance, I see you. What's up with it? Appreciate you. Let's get into it. I think we last left off where I believe Vance was about to say something again. So let's get into it.
Can I so what you're sounding like to me is and I hate those scenarios, but that's what it sounds like to me. Like when people be like, would you help your, baby mama out, if she got a new man? And don't get me wrong, but in how you're telling the story, dude wasn't about nothing, right? So it's like most people would feel like, well, we ain't together no more, ask that dude. And I'm not saying that they're wrong, because you just don't know how, people do stuff, right?
Yep.
But well, I guess what I'm saying is, it to me it just sounds like, you're a stand-up guy. And what I mean by that is, even though, she had another spouse at the time, you still stood on business as far as taking care of your children and even the children that, you took care of before y'all broke up. And that's how my stepfather was, when him and my mom got married and then they divorced. He did not pay child support, but whatever my mom needed or whatever we needed, he was there. So I respect men like that. Some people, oh, that's, this or that. But I feel like, and some people are even confused when I tell them, like, my grandparents that I speak on a lot, treat me like their blood grandchild. It's like, oh, but your parents, well, that ain't your dad. Like even my father, that ain't none of your daddy, them ain't none of your people. But it's like, no, they are my people. He was, a father figure to me. Although, I love my father, my biological father, and I respect him. It's like, people don't understand that, that you can love, people, children that aren't your blood, because either, you helped raise them or, they were a part of your upbringing. And so I just love and respect that, and you telling that story, because I don't hear of things like that often, and people think I'm a little weird, for claiming my now divorced step family, but they're not my step family. They're my family. So, yeah.
But what was that?
So, to be honest with you, this is actually the first time that Vance, in this particular live stream, that Vance actually brought some type of value to the conversation. To be honest with you, because before that, like I stated on the other episodes of this, is that Vance's whole intentions up there really was just to troll. You know what I mean? She really wasn't up there to bring a whole lot of value in the conversation, but in this particular moment, I believe that she brought some value into this particular conversation. You know what I'm saying? So that's, that it is what it is.
What's that? What's that? The gray-haired nigga. You know what I'm saying? You don't remember his
Did
name?
he just put out on blast gray-haired nigga?
I'm over here rolling. I'm over here.
What's the nigga name?
Yes,
You
that's
saying
his
what's the
name.
nigga
Yes.
name?
Yeah, that was his name, right? Dennis? Okay. Yeah.
His name Mr. Nigga.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Nigga.
Okay.
He for sure ain't gonna. That's what I want to know, man. You go back. Yeah, he ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But Just Jay is she tripping. She talking about it's okay, SBK. You eventually find a milk of magnesia. Here's the thing, man. You know she's tripping. You know what I'm saying? She's trolling. I
This
could
is
take
so funny.
I could take her trolling, Just Jay. But the thing about that is that when people say stuff like that, those are the same Mickey Fickies that go after these niggas that have hairlines all the way back here or whatever to the their head or whatever. These niggas that cap or whatever, and they are odds and chats and shit of niggas that are bums and fuck niggas. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my French or whatever. But me, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to beat on my chest like King Kong and say that I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do that. I don't have to cap. I don't have to do any of that. It is what it is with me. You know what I'm saying?
So here's something I want to add on to that too about that little milk and magnesia bullshit she said, right? See, it'd be the same type of one women, preferably black women, right, who will use that concept talking about, well, you could get with a white woman, right? But at the same time, they'll get mad and pissed off that you got with a white woman. Am I lying about that? They'll use that concept to my, well, you could get you a white woman because obviously you can't handle us black women. And then you mess around and get a white woman, not only a white woman, but a badass white woman that look way better than them. And guess what? They'll get mad because you got a white woman. Make that make sense. Make that make sense.
Because, fuck niggas are gonna be fuck niggas. You know what I'm saying? And excuse my French, ladies. Excuse me.
That's on period.
Fuck niggas gonna be fuck
Being
niggas.
petty
You know what I'm
right now.
saying? And these dudes around here are not men. All right. Don't believe everything that you hear on social media. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these ladies follow these fuck niggas. You know what I'm saying? And
man, hold up. When he mentioned talking about these men on here ain't men, they say up here talking about that part and all this stuff. But when he was up here holding women accountable, oh no, that's not all women. That's not all women. I don't know why you talk about women like that. You see the hypocrisy behind that.
I don't apologize for being a man. You know what I'm saying? And what you see online right now is what I am in real person, in real life. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I love me. I don't have to cap for anybody. You know what I mean? That's the reason why I love you ladies on the panel. You
I
older
have to go hide.
and Bonds,
I
you
had to
too.
go hide.
Yes,
He was being petty, so I had to go hide.
and Bonds, Bonds, I love you too, Bonds, because of the fact that I watch you. You're a young lady, and you're trying to get it right, and you know that you're not. You always say that you're not perfect, or whatever, and you're trying to work on things. A real man is not going to look for perfection. You know what I'm saying? A real man is going to look for somebody that knows that you're not perfect, but it's going to work with you. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because you're not in it alone. You know, you're not supposed to raise your kids alone. You're not supposed to do this life alone. We're supposed to nurture you. We're supposed to help you. And in turn, you guys, you help us out. But I'm never going to look for a handout.
Now, correction. When he's talking about nurturing, he's not talking about a man nurturing a woman. All right, he's talking about in a sense of he's using it in the sense of the simply protection and provision. Okay, that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about he's entering into a feminine energy or different things like that. Because I know that's what y'all gonna say. Urban, look, even SBK said we're here to nurture. Nope, do not. No, that is not what he's talking about. All right.
I'm never going to. I'm one of those men that's never going to ask for any sympathy or anything like that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to cap online. Never. You know what I'm saying? I am who I am. You know what I mean? And I would never lie to you, ladies. You got my brothers in the chat. I would never lie to you. You know what I mean? Because I actually know Jimbo that's on the chat right now. I remember to this day, and he probably going to cuss me out for saying this. I remember to this day, years ago, when he found out that my daughter's mom passed away, and he sent me a cash out, and he offered words of encouragement. You know what I'm saying? And he knows me. You know, I talk to him on a daily basis, and so there's no capping with me. There's no lying with me. You know what I mean? I don't play no games with anybody. You know what I'm saying? So whatever I say online or whatever about my life or about my perspective, it's truth. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. What's up with it, what's up with Jimbo? What's up with, bro?
What's going on, ladies? What's up, bro?
Salute to you, bro.
Hey, Jimbo.
Hey, Jimbo.
Hello, Jimbo.
Hey, Jimbo.
What's up? What's up? I'm enjoying the conversation.
You kind of low, bro. Bro, you kind of low.
Huh?
You there you go. There you go. There you go.
I'm getting tired of my little brother defending himself while he ain't dating. Y'all ladies, fall back. Leave my little brother alone. I'm tired of him. It's like the third time I done heard him defending himself while he just doing him.
I got the troll, Jimbo. I got the troll.
I know you come, but Vaughn came in hot on my dog.
But Jimbo, you guess what? But Jimbo, every week he's all in our business. So we
still ain't told how old he is.
Right, but he asks us questions every week, Jimbo. So make sure you keep it, balanced, bro.
I told him. I told.
So that lets y'all know right off the bat that this whole entire conversation that they was having with SBK was disingenuous. It was. They revealed the whole true reason of their intentions. Their intentions is because every time when SBK be having his shows, he be talking about, women, preferably modern women and stuff, right? They talk about their behavior and all different things like that, and it triggered them and it made them feel some type of way. He even asked about the age question, different things like that, and they just feel some type of way. So they felt like that this particular episode would be the perfect episode for them to use that manipulative way to get their little get back. Now, if that doesn't sound egotistical, then I don't know what it is, because that's exactly. I think that's not what they said a few moments ago. That's exactly what they said a few moments ago. It was pretty much a get back thing, because you stroke our ego, you messed up our ego and stuff. So we're gonna use this to get back at you.
I told him that. I say, bruh, you gotta be careful, because you be around here, asking questions, so you open the door to have questions asked back, But I was like, damn, they getting on my dog again. You know what I'm saying? I just believe that we all come from different walks of life, right? And so again, I'm a big stickler that I don't speak from a macro perspective, because the path that I walk, SBK didn't walk, right? So I can listen to his perspective on why he do what he do. And if I don't agree, or whether I agree, it doesn't mean that he's doing something wrong. He's doing what's best for him in his situation. Oftentimes we try to lump people in our box, in our complacency, and what we think is considered to be the norm, and I even remember that people felt like when you hit a certain age, you're supposed to have certain stuff, or you're supposed to have achieved certain things. And I disagree with that, because while you was out there learning how to write your name, you got a daughter or a son who is probably in the house being sexually abused. You know what I'm saying? So things happen at different times for different people. And right now, my brother say, man, he getting to the money and being a father, and everything else fall on the back burner.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up too, Lionel, about that. So when he mentioned, we had, I had this conversation before with Jimbo when he used the term macro and stuff, right? Which I understand where he's coming from a macro. Basically, when you use the term macro, it's the equivalency of what women say, talking about both for men and women. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what it is. See, that's the issue that I be having, with a lot of people. Period, is because we've been so programmed to where we can't take a stand on certain issues, or a lot of issues. We've been so programmed that either have to be this balanced situation instead of letting it be what it is. But what's also interesting about this is that they would take a stand on certain situations. You know what I mean? Like, case in point, like back in the past, when we was talking about rap, we had this whole debate talking about Kendrick Lamar and stuff, right? In that moment, Jimbo took a stand and said, no, Kendrick Lamar is this, that, and that. It wasn't no macro level or anything like that, period. He took an exact stance to say, this is Kendrick Lamar. This is the reason why Kendrick Lamar is what it is. Herbie, what you said was wrong. I don't agree with that. I'll period. And once again, that particular case, he didn't use no macro level. He didn't go back and say per se that we believe that. I believe that people are trying to relate things based on their particular anecdotal experience. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say none of that. So for some reason, when it comes to dealing with women and dealing with relationships, that this happens every single time, where we be so programmed where we cannot take a stand on these issues. We want it to be both all the time. Both men and women is this. Everybody need to choose better, different things like that, instead of taking a stance and saying like, hey, this truly is an issue and we need to talk about it. This truly is a fact that this is happening. This behavior is truly what it is. See, we can't sit up here and pick and choose to generalize. You know what I mean? If that be the case. Well, when I be up here and I present this information to y'all, whether I'm on my show or going on other people's show, right? I generalize. I make generalized statement based on facts. Based on facts, based on behavior, and based on my personal, professional, and personal experience. I do. And I take a stand on it. Whether people agree with it or not. I also believe this. I also believe that the reason why a lot of people don't like taking a stand on certain situations is because they don't want their ego to be bruised. They don't want to be wrong. They don't want to be challenged. You shouldn't be that way because that's not living life. You're going to always have people who's going to disagree with you. You might as well accept that. The things I say, people disagree with me all the time. They disagree with me, it's fine. It don't bruise my ego or nothing like that. It don't make me feel no type of way with people or nothing like that, period. I still respect them. I respect their disagreement. It's cool. But even though I respect that, I still stand firm on who I am. Then on top of that, it be moments in the situation to where they may say something right, and I didn't think about it like that, or I didn't consider it that way. You know what I'm saying? And they may, end up changing my mind about it. Things happen like that, but you have to have a different mindset. It can't be just like what he said, the macro level or wherever he's talking about. You have to have an open mind about everything that people talk about, and you have to come to a conclusion on the matter too. If not, then this cycle of both and choose better and all this stuff, it's never going to be a solution. I'm just saying. Yeah, I agree with you, Line. That's why you talk unapologetically. Yeah, I agree. But let's continue.
But as for me, another brother, you asked me, my perspective is different. If I meet the right sister, I'm gonna make time for her. And it ain't gonna stop me. It ain't gonna stop me from getting to my money, and it ain't gonna stop me from being a great father. But that doesn't mean that how SBK moving, it ain't no different. It's just that I'm in a place and my path allows me to devote time to a queen, still be a father, still get to the money, and still enjoy life.
But see, that's not the issue though that they're talking about. The issue is that they want SBK to make time for this unknown woman that he don't even know yet. The issue is that they want SBK to push hard after in the dating market while balancing being a father, being a single father, while working all these different hours as well too. That's what they're talking about. Now, what Jimbo is talking about is him actually being actually in a relationship where he actually have a woman, right, and he's not making time for her. SBK clearly said that, hey, if I do have a woman, I am going to make time for her. Of course, I'm going to balance all that out. But currently in the one dating market right now, I don't have time for the dating market because I got all these different things going on. Now, if I just so happen to meet her while, I'm doing my business, then I'm going to do that. That's all he was saying. But they took that into a whole nother level to try to not only troll him, right? But also to try to say that what he's doing is wrong, that he need to do it how the way they want him to do it.
Saying, but SBK, bro, let this be your last time, bro. Ladies, y'all fall back on my little brother. Y'all fall back. If he want to be out here,
Jimbo.
if he want to be out here, he got to call a couple of y'all when he about 50, 60 years old because he can't move the same to help him out. That's just how it's going to be.
Lord have mercy.
Jimbo, you must hear my speech, Jimbo, because I was not on your boy like that. I was really...
No, you wasn't. I said what I said. You was.
He talking about me.
I was being real nice to your boy tonight.
and you see how instantly they start becoming the victim right then and there. You must not be talking about me, At least Vaughn in this situation, at least Vaughn admitted to her trolling and she's doing all this stuff right. At least she's taking accountability on that. But the others, I want to be victims and stuff. No, it was y'all. Y'all was saying what you was saying, even though you try to make it be that both thing. But yeah, you were.
Yeah.
But Jimbo, well, okay, all right. So I'm gonna be accountable. All right. Yes. I said he out here playing games, okay? Right? So, I ain't got nothing else to say because that's what I said.
Perhaps so. But what if people position themselves to be a part of the game that he's playing? Right? We all adults. You
right. No.
There are women out there who about their paper, who aren't interested in anything serious either. And perhaps, he wants to play in their garden and they probably want him to water their garden. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That part.
And so that's the thing I hear too. Listen, marriage ain't the goal for a lot of women and a lot of men nowadays. That's not the final destination for a lot of adults nowadays. It's
right. No, I'm not.
Yeah, that part I agree with him on that. I agree that marriage is not for everybody. It's not. And another thing that I agree with is that we've also been programmed that your whole existence in life is for you to grow up, become an adult, find a man, find a woman, procreate, get this house with white picket fence, and that's it, and you grow old together. But that's far from the truth. That reality is not for everyone. It's not. Do y'all understand that when they had ancient kings back in the day, right? Do you understand that not only he had one queen, but he had what is known as concubines as well too. The concubine roles was strictly is for them to satisfy the one king's nuts. That's it. To smash the king. That's their only existence. That's their only role in life. One could call them being prostitutes. It is what it is. But that was their only role in life was for them to do that. So some people's role is not for them to want to do that. Other concubines and stuff, depending on how they are, they may agree to want to carry the king kids. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe the queen can't carry kids, or maybe the queen don't want to carry no more kids, or she got up to age where she can't do it no more. So he got younger concubines where he could nut up in them and keep the one legacy going, So some of them have that role, and that's their only role. You know what I mean? So it's not always the end resort for people to get married. I believe also that there are a lot of people out there who got married who wasn't qualified to be married. I'm going to say that again. I believe that there are a lot of people out there who got married that wasn't qualified to be married. And notice how the way I'm saying this, I'm not saying women or anything like that. I'm making a general statement saying people, period, have got married but they wasn't qualified to be married. What do I mean by that? Meaning that they haven't went through the whole process of understanding the concept about marriage, concept about union, concept that when you enter into these relationships, you're two human beings coming together as one. They don't understand that concept. They both enter into a selfish mindset. This person is selfish, this other person is selfish, and they want you to be entering into what's known as a business partnership. This is the reason why I challenge the word partnership, and I don't believe in it at all, period. They enter into this partnership or this arrangement, and next thing you know, when things don't go right according to how the way they wanted to go, then guess what? They're divorcing. But in reality, they should have never been married to begin with in the first place. There are a lot of people who had booty calls. Booty calls turned into a marriage. There are a lot of people who had one-night stands. One-night stands turned into a marriage when it wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to be what it was. It doesn't, nothing more, nothing less. But I digress.
Saying that? No. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is, if you gonna be close in the garden, okay, expect women to want to be close outside the garden, okay? Every action has a reaction. Is all I'm saying. Don't be complaining about, oh, they want me to call them. They want.
That particular part right there, where Voss say close outside the garden, that crap didn't make absolutely no sense whatsoever. But I get it though. I get it that she was trying to talk that way to make it sound, make her sound that she's making a point and important, but really,
Me to pay attention because you done been in their garden. Okay, you out there watering and making things grow and making things come back to life. Folks feeling things they ain't felt in a long time, and you think that ain't gonna come with nothing?
Yeah, that comes with the especially from my experience. Whether one catch it when you dating or whether one realize what they had, right? I'm only speaking from my personal experience. I've dated a woman and didn't know what I had when I was dating her, and didn't realize what type of woman she was until afterwards.
Yeah, real quick. Once again, I don't know why people feel this way, especially with Jimbo. I don't know why he feel that it's only good for him to speak solely on his personal anecdotal experience. You don't necessarily do that. If that's what you choose to do, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But also, you have to understand that it is okay for you to generalize as well too when you're having a conversation. It's okay to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But just like I stated earlier, the reason why some people don't do that is because they don't want to have that pushback. They don't want to have that pushback to where people were trying to stay ideology or trying to how the way you think. You know what I mean? Because in your mind, if you stay safe and say this is what I do personally or whatever, right? Then in your mind, it's absolutely a fact to you, and so they can't challenge your fact, which will make you be right. But it's okay to be challenged and be pushed, and also it's okay to be wrong. Just like I say, what makes me the person that I am right now, what people either love me or hate me, is for the simple fact that I know when I'm right, and I know when I'm wrong, and I know when I probably ain't wrong. When that situation comes, when I'm probably not right or wrong or whatever, that's when people will let me know. They're like, hey, bro, I don't know about that. What about this and that and that? That's when I consider it, think about it. Like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I'm wrong. That's how you grow as a human being. All right. That's how you grow through wisdom as well too, where you be able to accept all that. You be able to accept the constructive criticism as well too, like I do. You know what I'm saying? People want to criticize me all the time, and I'm able to accept that and bring it into my being, and that's what make me master it. Okay, but let's continue.
And I think I think I can say that for some ladies as well. They probably come across some guys don't know what they was dealing with at the time they was dating that individual, and then move on and be like, you know what, I kind of fumbled the bag there. So I think that happens sometimes too. But I'm 44 years old, and straight up about a month ago, I do meet women that don't want a relationship. They just wanna play. And
I have too.
Yeah, they want to vibe, and then they want to move on.
Right.
And I had a conversation.
They want to kick it. They want to kick it with you.
They just want to vibe and move on. You know, so it's a plethora of them out there for SBK. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is log on to Instagram and post a gym pic, and they going crazy over, bro.
Well, Jimbo, let me ask you this, Jimbo.
Okay, I'm glad I said what I said. Say something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Keep on. I'm gonna come after you.
Okay. When I was dating this guy, right, when I was in Dallas, and when I met him, I told him, I said, I just want to kick it with you, right? And homeboy got mad. I told him right up front. But I told him right up front, I just want to kick it with you because I was raising my son, and his father is just like SBK. If I needed my electric bill paid or whatever, he was going to continue to pay my bills if I needed him to. But the type of person that I am, he knew I wasn't going to call him unless I needed him. And he was just like SBK. He didn't pay no child support. It was just, whatever I needed, I called him, and it's done.
Once again, that is child support. The only difference is that it's not legal child support, all right? That's why I said in the live last night, the show I did, not last night, but the one part 3 of the show, and I was explaining to you the concept about the Office of Attorney General. And I'm gonna re-emphasize this again for the men who are listening to the show. If you have children and you are giving a woman money, okay, she's not have you on child support legally, but you're just giving her money and stuff, right? I'm letting you know right now that, to be quite honest with you, it's really better out for you to be part of the system, to be honest with you. A lot of men don't want to agree with that, but if you're doing it like that, if you're sitting up here giving her money and different things like that, it's better for you just to put yourself on child support the system. It is. Because once again, the Office of Attorney General is not going to either consider what you give it to that woman child support. They're going to consider it as a gift for contribution. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And by you doing that right, that woman could, any given time, that woman could put you on child support. Why are you doing that? For no apparent reason. She could be on her period one day to say, you know what, fuck, I'm finna put this dude on child support. Because she on her period and she mad. And she'll go up there and do it, and they'll grant it. And now you upset. Woman, I done pay your electric bill and your light bill and blah, 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 blah. Why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me? She'll sit up here and say some weird stuff to me. Well, I was thinking about how you cheated on me back in 2021. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. And just like I said, they're not going to all that money you get, you could plead it all day long. They're not going to say, okay, the money that you gave her, right, we're going to add it into the actual child support. Nope, they're not going to do that. So it's a waste of time. It is a waste of time.
But homeboy got mad because I told him I just wanted to kick it with him because I just didn't want another man in the house while I was raising my son. I wanted him and his father to have that type of relationship. And a lot of times when you do bring a step parent into the home, it's a lot of friction, especially when it's a teenage boy and a stepfather. It's a lot of tension and friction. So
well, in that particular situation, right? First part about it, probably the reason why Buddy got mad is because y'all was in that courtship phase and stuff, right? You may had led on to believe that the relationship could go further than what it was. You know what I'm saying? Or the other part of that is that Buddy was probably had this simpish mentality, thinking that he had to prove himself to you. You know what I'm saying? And so he was looking for way more. You know what I mean? And so this third part about this, about the stepson and the stepfather situation, that situation is solely depending on the parents. Solely depending on the parents. The parents is the one who set the tone of that, not the child. It's the parents. Because like I told y'all before, children mimic behavior. Okay? So if the two parents sit up here clashing with each other, they're bringing out this energy, what do you think the child is going to do? They're going to mimic that behavior and do the same as that thing. But if you come with a different type of energy, guess what? That stepson or stepdaughter or whoever the case may be, they're going to bring that same type of energy. Case in point, I am considered as a stepfather in my current marriage. When I first met my wife, children and stuff, right? Guess what? We didn't have no friction. We didn't have no type of energy among each other. And you want to know the reason why? It's because me and her mother has set the tone of the energy at the beginning. We did, and we continue that energy, including until this day. So even to this day, there's no energy or nothing like no bad energy or anything like that. We all respect each other. But let's continue.
You know, I got cursed out just because I was honest up front and let homeboy know I just wanted to kick it with him. So what's wrong with that picture?
There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's on him. That ain't on you. I said what I said. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about transparency.
In which I do agree on that part, that in that situation, yeah, it was on that dude because that dude was seeking out more. I don't know if it's because I said what I said led him on to believe that it was that she was going to get more into that, or he just assumed that. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying?
Too. That ain't on you at all, sis. That's on him. And more than likely, I would assume that for him to feel that type of way, that's probably something in the past that he hasn't dealt with or whatever, but that ain't got nothing to do with you for being straight up with what you want. At that point, if I was that said dude and you said that to me, at that point, I have the option to take it or walk away and say, this ain't what I'm looking for right now. But if I continue to go down that road, that's on me. You know what I'm saying? That ain't on you, sis. And I think sometimes the good folks, we go inward sometimes, and when things don't work out like we expect them to do, I don't think we go inward as we're saying like, what's wrong with me? I think we look at it from what is it, or what could I have said better or did better to make the situation not like it was. But you ain't do nothing.
So check this out. I was just thinking about this too, right? Let's also consider this. Let's consider in this same scenario, right, that Buddy had seen I Said What I Said, right? He's seen her, right? He's seen that, you know, she was very valuable. A matter of fact, he's seen I Said What I Said as that potential diamond in the rough, you know, scenario that I was stating earlier, correct? Let's consider in a situation that he believed that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for him and he just wanted to jump on it. So therefore, that's the reason why he had the mentality that he had with her, saying that he wanted to push further, he wanted to make it more, even though I Said What I Said created this certain boundary where she was saying that, hey, I just don't want, you know, we're cool, but I just don't, you know, I want to do the stepdad thing or, you know, anything like that. You know what I mean? So that is something to consider.
Wrong. We grown. Be straight up. Be transparent. Hey, listen. Oftentimes, if you get a group of us together and you say, what are you looking for in a mate? What are some of the attributes you hear? Someone who is honest, a straight shooter, very transparent, loyal. You hear those things, right? But then when people come in contact with them, some of them fold.
Oh, to answer that question, Lionel, to be honest with you, I believe that it's part of a escape mechanism, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, in reality you really don't know the answer, so you just resort to saying it's something that you haven't dealt with, because they know in reality that no human on the planet is not going to have every perfect experience. You know what I'm saying?
Like a launch.
Yes.
They don't know how to handle a person that's transparent and that's a straight shooter. They don't.
They sure in the hell don't.
They don't.
And what I will say is, in y'all defense, or want to be cool with people. I don't see nothing wrong with that, I really don't, you know. But some of these people ain't
Well,
right,
me,
okay?
me, me,
You
at
you
this
can be
stage, I
honest
just want to
with
hit
them.
it and quit it. Move on.
Lord, Lord, Lord.
I think
You can be honest with them, and they still want what they. I'm gonna put it to you like this, because okay, in the spirit of transparency, yes, okay, I have that effect. Okay, in the past, you know, my husband, I just can't seem to get rid of folks. Okay, so all right, in the past, all right, so I understand what y'all saying. Okay, I do. You tell somebody, exactly. Why you laugh? You tell somebody exactly how you feel, and they just don't want to hear it. They want what they want from you. And you looking all in the clouds like, okay, I done been honest. I done said how I feel. I done told you what I expect. I told you, what line I don't want to cross. And it's still like I'm in love and, and I want to keep this going. And it's just like, yeah, no, that's not what I want. Okay. So SBK, like I said, I'm just hating on, your distance. That's it. That's all. I'm just hating on it.
To be honest with you, her statement, it don't sound like it was part of the decorum. It sounded like she was talking about another situation. It sound like she was up here putting together all these different other scenarios and to try to convey it to this current point. You know what I mean? Or our mom doesn't hear this wrong, but
All right.
she's doing her thing. She got someone right now. I don't even. It's all out of respect what she's doing. She owned a couple of businesses back down in Miami, and so I realized from that experience, like, bruh, you walk into somebody's life, make sure you know what the fuck you want. Make sure you confident about what you want, especially if you come across somebody who know what they want. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want nobody to waste your time, so don't waste their time. So yeah, I spun that block like 2 times. Listen, I was going out my way the second time, but you know what I'm saying? Some people out here, when they say they moving on, they move the fuck on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shout out
Right.
to my bro.
Hello,
But I
Jimbo.
appreciate
Shout
that
out
that
to
you
my
even
bro.
tried to go get back. You know what I'm saying? Some men get in their pride and they don't even try to spin the block. They're
Shout
just,
out to my bro from keeping it real. Shout
Nah,
out
Are
to
you with somebody now, Jimbo?
we dating.
before Vance get to this, right? So I was letting Jimbo speak and stuff, right? Because I was trying to not understand Jimbo point, because I do understand where he's coming from, but I was trying to understand why he asked the question, and so she concluded that, but you did, go back and spin around the block, you know what I'm saying, or make time or whatever and stuff, right? So here's my response to that, all right? Because that's implying that maybe it was a person in your past and you just didn't give them the time for whatever reason. You didn't want to spend time with them, or as what Jimbo was saying, you just in a certain season of your life where, they just didn't qualify for where you was at, or you didn't qualify for them, whatever the case may be, right? See, I thought that if it's true love, right, that true love will find you no matter what. No matter the time, the place, the season, the hour, the year, or whatever. I thought that's what y'all believe in, right? Give you another example. I want to give you my personal example. All right. Now, those of y'all who been following now, trying to always be transparent when I talk about my personal life, and I talk about my current marriage. Okay. When I first met Mrs. Zara, I met her at work. The first year I met her, guess what? We was those coworkers. Was I cool with her? Yes. Did I like her? Yes. Did I pursue her? Nope. Not at all. Not at all. Didn't pursue her at all. Didn't even want to pursue her, because at that particular time I knew that I didn't qualify for her. I knew I didn't. And the reason why is because I knew that I had certain things in my life that I needed to deal with, and I didn't want to pull her into the stuff that I was dealing with at that time. So I automatically disqualified disqualify myself. All right. Not to mention that during that time when I had met her, that's when I was still on my if I go out and meet somebody, I'm just meeting on the smash phase and stuff, right? So I was still in that phase as well too, while dealing with other issues dealing with my life. So I knew that I did not qualify for her at all period. So I made the executive decision to disqualify myself, and just to be cool with her. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing more, nothing less. Almost like 2.5 years later and stuff, right after when I got my stuff together, after when I got to the point where I felt that I'm comfortable and I'm moving towards things in my life. You know what I'm saying? Things are going great in my life. I've been reprogrammed, reconditioning to be how the way I am right now. Guess what? That's when we just so happen to cross paths again, right? When I'm crossing paths again, at that time around, you know what? Let me explore this thing a little bit further, because I know I'm more than likely qualified for her now. So that's what I did. Want to explore that thing even further and stuff. And guess what? It went from that to that to that. Ultimately, we end up dating. Then we ultimately end up getting married. So that's why I'm saying that if we believe in this concept about true love, that it don't matter the time when it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Right? But once again, that deals with the pride and ego in this situation, to where people be wanting things to happen how the way they want it to happen, instead of allowing it to happen the way that it need to happen. So you know what? When I'm talking about this qualification thing, y'all can think about it like this, right? Many of y'all probably either have a house, right, or you may be thinking about getting a house, right? Do you know that you have to go through this process to even qualify for that loan? Guess what some people do? They're literally do what is known as building your credit up, okay? You build your credit up so you can qualify for this high level of loan, right? They'll put you through a credit building program as well too, where you can work on that. They'll also suggest to you that, hey, you need to pay off these certain things that's part of your credit, build up a personal line of credit as well too, to show that you're trustworthy, right? Now, listen to me. This stuff is going to make sense because it's dealing with relationships, right? You have to build up a line of credit. You have to build up trustworthiness as well too. You have to do all these different things. So when it's time for you to go out and apply for that loan for that house, guess what? That loan officer's going to look at your application, right? They're going to look at it like, you know what? You had took more than enough time to build up your status. You took more than enough time to build up your credit, and you took more than enough time to make sure that you can handle what's going to happen with this house. And you build up trustworthiness as well too. Guess what? Approved. That's the same concept about dating and relationships, where we talking about you have to qualify for a person. That's exactly what I'm saying, is that you have to build up a certain line of credit. You have to build up your status and all these different things to qualify for the person that you're looking for. But if you don't do that right, guess what? You're going to end up getting something that you don't want. Like, say, for example, instead of you getting a house, the house of your dream, right, you're just going to settle for a bootleg house in the hood. Hence, you're going to settle for a hood rat. Am I making sense? You're just going to settle just for a hood rat, and that's it. And you're thinking that's it. No. Instead of you settling for that hood rat or that hood Negro, right, you just build yourself up and to the point to where you could qualify for that type of person that you're looking for. Hence, that's what I believe, that's what SBK is doing with himself, is that he's not taking this dating thing serious, because he's literally building up his line of credit. He's building himself up where he could qualify for the exact woman that he been looking for. I'm pretty sure how the way things work, if y'all believe in karma, if y'all believe in, God or whatever thing, or whatever case may be right. I'm pretty sure that same woman is doing the same exact thing where she's building herself up, where she could qualify for that man like SBK. So when they do come together, right, it's not gonna be no bullshit. It's not gonna be something that's gonna be temporarily where at that moment you thought you was ready for it, but reality you wasn't ready for it. And next thing you know, you want to call the repo man to have it repo. Hence divorce. Right? So that's why I believe that's where this dude is at in this moment. He's preparing himself. He's getting himself ready. No matter how long it take, probably take him in his 50s or 60s. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't sit up here and put a time stamp on that because that's what you want to happen. Ladies. But let's continue.
Yeah, we dating.
Okay.
I was so mad. My L's. My L's, man. I took a lot of L's. You know what I'm saying? I made that comment earlier. I said in my 20s, at 44 years old, I wouldn't like the 24-year-old Jimbo. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. Now that I look back at myself, I've grown a lot. But I've also, instead of me playing the victim and blaming people, I was raised by a father who always taught me accountability. Always look at the part you play. You know what I'm saying? So I always did that, and I'm at a place now where you come into my life. I need you to be whole. I need this queen to be whole, man. Know what you want, know your strengths, know your flaws, and be confident in yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be times where you're probably a little nervous, and you're gonna need that pep talk. Like as far as for me, I go back and forth with some of my brothers because I don't have a problem. A sister who tell me, sweetheart, tighten the fuck up. You don't let them people do you like that at work. Know who the fuck you are. That type of language from a woman don't intimidate me because I know who I am as a man. Sometimes I need a little verbal wake up call like that from my queen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? You're right. I got this shit. You know, some guys get offended by that. I'm the man of this relationship. Listen, bro, I always feel like if you always got to revert back to reminding yourself that you're the man of a relationship, bro, you got some issues, bro. Because I ain't got to do that. So that's why I said I like a woman that got a little urban sass to her.
Yes.
Also intellect as well.
Yes.
Because man, we all fall short at times and need somebody to lean on who we genuinely know rooting for us and got our back. So yeah, I've been dating right now. It's going very good, man. I'm in a good.
See, like I say, that's dealing with like preference and stuff, and I hear this out here, different men say that, that they want a woman to, have, a little urban sass, where she's sassy, she's ghetto, but she could be professional at the same time, and all these different things, right? If that's your preference, then that's fine. But me, on the other hand, I don't want a woman who is ghetto as hell. I don't want a woman where we're sitting at a restaurant and the waiter is being rude as hell, and all of a sudden she feel obligated to be just as rude and meet that energy. I don't want a woman like that. I want a woman who uses emotional intelligence at all times. It's cool to be emotional because that's part of who she is, but also use emotional intelligence to understand, like, I don't have to get all super loud and escalate things and put this dude into a situation that we don't need to be in. I don't need a woman to be sitting up here be operating in a man's masculinity, neither. No. Not at all. I want her to be feminine, period. Want her to be feminine, want her to be respectable at all times, period. And I want her also to understand that, hey, my man is here, he is going to handle this situation, period. And if he need for me to assist him in that situation, that I'm going to be there to help me and assist him. Other than that, I'm not going to overstep my boundaries because of my pride and ego. That's what them sassy ass, ghetto ass women be doing. Well, they be sort of overstepping their boundaries, but dudes, they be like, oh man, I'm just so attracted to that. I'm getting that tingling. Nah, bro, because ultimately what end up happening is that them same type of women, you're allowed that much access like that, ultimately they're gonna end up being disrespectful towards you, and you're gonna be trying to figure out how did we get here? How did we get to a toxic relationship? That's the reason why. But like I say, that is me personally. I don't deal with women like that. Period. No. All that energy, that extra stuff, you got to be a boss chick and all the stuff there. Nope. Not at all.
Place.
I ain't dating nobody.
We gonna mute SBK's mic in a minute.
Right.
See, that's what I say. That's my brother. I love him. Man, I'm 44 years old. I ain't trying to be out here figuring out AARP on my own. Fuck
Okay. That's right.
I know that's right.
He ain't count. Well,
I ain't trying to go to Cabo by myself. You know, so
Hey, Jimbo,
that's
can I
why I
ask
say
you a
we walk
question?
different paths, but I don't think nothing wrong with bruh. But I'm shit me. I like to run myself warm at night.
I mean, even right there and stuff, like in the beginning, you know, he said like, "Hey, I don't see nothing wrong with bro, but you know, me personally, I would rather do X, Y, Z, different things like that." That's what I'm talking about. This both things, you know what I'm saying, trying to be balanced and stuff out. You have to like pick a stance. You have to either say it's this or it's that. There's nothing wrong with generalizing. There's nothing wrong with picking a stance of where you need to be at. You know, because if not, it becomes it becomes on conflating ideals. In other words, if that makes sense. and to top it off, there's nothing wrong with a dude going to Cabo by himself or Jamaica or anything like that. Hell, them women do it all the time anyway. So what's wrong with a dude going on trips by himself? That goes with the whole point of, at the end of the day, you should always have self-love for yourself. You shouldn't need a woman. You shouldn't need a woman to validate you as a human. Likewise, you shouldn't need a man to validate you as a woman. All right? You don't need that at all, period. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself. Do things for yourself just like you do it for other people. So go on them trips. Don't let dudes like this be telling you that you weird for going on trips by yourself. Matter of fact, case in point, when I was single and stuff, right? Do you know I was doing all this stuff for myself? I was literally sitting up here going out to restaurants by myself. Hell, I'm married and I still do that. I was sitting up here going out to restaurants by myself, going to movies by myself, going to like little lounges by myself. You know, I was even traveling by myself. You know what I'm saying? And I had the time of my life, you know what I'm saying? Because that's stuff that you're supposed to do anyway. I'm just saying.
Jimbo, can
I'm
I ask
hollering.
you a question, Jimbo?
Okay.
What's up, sister?
Do you wear Timberlands?
Huh?
Do you wear Timberlands?
Foxy.
What Timberlands?
Hold up. You said what?
Said, do you wear them Timberlands?
Do you wear them Timberlands?
Nah, I wear Air Max.
See,
Oh.
that's good. See, well, I'm talking about. I told you tennis shoes
Good
on
grip.
and Timberland.
I wear Air Max.
I don't get it.
Slip resistant.
Okay.
I don't get it.
It got good grip. I ain't slipping over here.
That's right.
I don't get it.
I wear Timberlands. I wear cowboy boots.
We ain't talking
That's
to you.
a
You
good
don't
one.
want
We
nothing
ain't
right
asking
now.
you,
That's
SBK.
right.
We
Talking
asking
to you.
Jimbo.
As long as they got
But I like
traction,
cowboy
good.
boots, SBK. I like cowboy boots.
I'm
We
gonna
ain't
switch
talk- we
sides
ain't
for a
talk- hey,
second.
I said what I said.
SBK,
You ain't
keep your
talking to
garden.
SBK. Yeah, you ain't talking to SBK. He ain't got time.
I like that hat you got on tonight, too.
He ain't got
SBK.
time.
What's on the
So
side?
I don't get the analogy with the shoes.
turn to
What
the
is
side.
that
Turn to the
about?
side.
Yeah,
SBK.
SBK, turn to the side. What's on the side of your hat? Yeah,
Lord.
that's nice. I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Real Texan.
Okay.
I
Ooh,
like
did
that.
you
Rodeo.
do a shot
Cowboy.
fired on me? I said what I said.
Huh?
Did you do a shots fired on me? You did a shots fired on me.
Yeah, he did. He did.
She said he did.
He did, yeah. I like that hat, though. That's cute.
It is cute. I like it.
Timberland boots, cowboy hats, Air Max, gardens. Oof, this is a
DR
wonderful
asked
night.
He can't.
DR said, Jimbo, are you happy?
I commend you. on
So check this out. I wanted to hear his point about this before I may give my perspective on this. And now I could say this. I could understand the reason why he conformed the way that he conformed. All right. once again, I can understand the reason why he conformed the way that he conformed. The reason why he conformed the way he conformed is due to social acceptance. Social acceptance could be a very addictive thing. It can be very addictive. This is why I was saying earlier about, loving yourself, where you don't need a secondary person for you to live your life and live in your truth. You know what I'm saying? Social acceptance would dictate and tell you that by you love yourself, that's considered as being overconfident, that's considered as being arrogant. And this all stems from people who don't agree with the things that you say or the things that you do. That's where it comes from. And so when different people are saying that, that's not necessarily a wake-up call for you to conform into the way that they want you to be. It can also be a push to tell you that you're actually on the path that you should be as a man or as a person. Another thing that I want y'all to consider this too is that whenever people talk like that, whenever people say that, oh, you arrogant, you feel like you confident, or you feel like you know it all stuff, right? The main reason why people say that is because they're actually not only intimidated about you, but they're afraid of you. They're afraid of your true potential. And so what they end up doing, they literally dumb you down into the lowest common denominator, meaning that they'll start off dumbing you down into their level, and then they will gaslight you to dumb you down even further down to where you're under them and they're above you. That's what narcissist does, by the way. That's what narcissism is. So these set of people that was part of his circle and stuff like that, they seen this dude potential. They seen that he was confident in his speech, how the way he was interacting, how he was talking. He stood his ground. He stood 2 toes down, 5 toes down, 10 toes down, whatever you want to call it, right? And they got intimidated on that. So they use a psychological tactic to dumb him down into the level that they want him to be. In reality, you shouldn't be that way at all. In reality, we need to get past this social acceptance part, okay? Like case in point right now, like over here on the lounge and stuff, right? People say different things about me all the time, all day, every day. They say things about me. They'll say things about me either here or they'll go on other podcasts and say things about me, whatever the case may be. They say things about me, period. Guess what? I had learned to master the art of not worrying about being socially accepted about people. Once again, I had learned to master the art of not worrying about being socially accepted about people. I am who I am, period. How the way I think, how the way I feel, how the way I interact, how the way I say certain things, this is who I am. Furthermore, this is who I choose to be as well, too. So it had to get to that point where you have to end up being the same exact way, because here's another reality too. No matter how much you try to conform yourself into people's likeness, they always going to find something wrong with you. They're always going to find something bad about you to try to dumb you down even further, because in reality, they're dealing with their own struggles, their own insecurity. And when they see you, they see, matter of fact, when they see you, they see a reflection of what they could be, and they become afraid of that. Because other people did that to them, where they dumbed them down to my you're arrogant and blah, 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 and different things like that. Last point. Do you know that a lot of business people, right? The reason why they're so successful the way that they are is because of the very thing I'm telling you right now. It's true. The very thing I'm telling you right now is that, yeah, they do have confidence. They do have a sense of arrogance and a sense of pride as well, too. Whenever they make a certain decisions, they're going to want to stand behind it, regardless if it's right or wrong. They're just going to do it. If it's wrong, they take accountability on it and move on. You know what I'm saying? But they don't lower themselves. That's because people are saying something about it. They don't lower themselves. They consider the possibility thereof. And then if it's wrong, they'll rectify the situation and keep moving without changing the core value of who they are. And I believe that we have to be the same exact way. In fact, like I say, I'm the same exact way. At the end of the day, people will say whatever the hell they want to say about me. It don't matter to me. I don't care. Me in the past, yeah, you could say stuff about me that be like, oh my God, for real, really? Maybe I need to want to do this. Maybe I need to do this. Or maybe I need to do that. But this version of me, hell no. Nope. Not at all. Not at all. So I'm just saying, you know. But once again, like I understand the reason why he did it, because that's something I did in the past as well too, to try to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it is me. Maybe it is me. Maybe it's me where I need to change myself, you know what I'm saying, to adapt to the current environment that I'm in. And that's what I did. But I guarantee when I was doing that right, I felt worse. I felt miserable. I felt like that I was in a prison that I couldn't escape. To be real about it. But let's continue, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up as well too, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, Jimbo, I commend you on that.
I like this story.
And
Do you reciprocate that?
Yeah, they notice that the women they're agreeing with that and stuff, right? Simply because it's talking about submission. Because a woman want a man to submit, but the modern women do not want to submit to the man.
Time. And I ain't mad at him because I understand. I can look back and see what the conversations my grandparents had with me. But
see, even in that situation, if you want to create that space, right, which is nothing wrong with it, you also have to take in the good and the bad with it. Then also, right off the bat, you have to set, you know, the certain boundaries. You can't still set boundaries later on to you know how the way you see fit to set it. It had to be established way early in the beginning. That certain type of boundaries. Like case upon with my children, right? My young children, they don't come at me as their friend or their homeboy or nothing like that. They come to me as their father. But at the same time, they can come up and talk to me about certain situation, and I would be brutally honest with them about what I say. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is that I already set a certain boundary in the beginning and let them know, like, hey, look, y'all could come and talk to me about anything. I have no problem with that. You know, you could express yourself. Hell, even if you're mad, you feel like you want to cuss, whatever, fine. I don't care. Because I understand you're expressing yourself. But there's a certain boundary. This certain boundary that I'm going to let you know is that I'm not your friend. I'm not your homeboy, all right? I'm your father, all right? So treat me with that type of respect. Why you're telling me about wherever it is that's going on. That's all I ask. That's it. But that have to be said at the beginning. It can't be said, you know, when they become teenagers and different things like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's a very delicate situation when you want to make sure that you are the go-to person that your kids come to talk about anything. And right now, my son has come to talk to me. Conversation is about. Well, then, whatever your daddy said, I agree with. Or, you know,
right?
How about you come to me when he's around and we can talk about this as a family? So that's very important to me. Now that asparagus was cooked that season.
I have a question,
I
Jimbo.
understand what you're saying, Jimbo.
Did you say you were raised to not question things in the Bible?
Yeah, we don't question. Nah, man. My grandma would slap the shit out of you. You don't question nothing in the Bible.
Me too. I was told that too.
You don't
question God. You don't question nothing that's in the Bible.
Yep.
You don't question God. I got older and found out you can, but at that time,
I was gonna, I was gonna say, I used to think that too, and was kind of, you know, from certain elders in my family, like, you know, you don't question God. But what I've learned is you can ask God, you know, questions, and if you're seeking answers, He will answer you. You know, so.
Hold on. We had conversations about this, Vaughn. And to my understanding, when I said the same as that thing, you said no, we don't supposed to question God. You and a couple of other ladies said the same thing. Like, nah, you don't question God. So you don't question the word of God. The word of God is truth. Period. So I don't know. I don't know if her stance changed since then, but in the past, yeah. Where when I said something like that, she like, no, we want to question God. What God's word is truth, period. Wherever the word of God says it is, period.
I just look at it, as long as you being respectful, you know, you gonna get some answers. Yeah.
We couldn't do that. We
I couldn't do it either, Jimbo.
No, we couldn't do it. But at that point, you know, my grandma would be like, "You need to find you somewhere else to stay."
Shoot, I'd be getting up trying to find my teeth.
Yeah, you know, I think I got slapped plenty of times by my grandma because I would hear the pastor say the Bible say one thing, and then I'm watching y'all in there screaming and crying and about to break a heel off those white Usher heels that they used to wear, and then your ass get home and you doing the total opposite. So I'm confused as a kid.
As how life is going to, when life approaches us, we're just going to just roll with the punches. There's no kind of excuses. There's no kind of nothing. We're just going to take life as it gives us, and we're going to roll with it. You know what I'm saying? And in reality, though, people like what we say, ladies and queens. They like what we say. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, it doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way at all. You know what I mean? Because in this day where you have what I call digital Hollywood, you know what I mean? Everybody can be what they want to be. You know what I mean? They can be what they want to be, do what they want to do, say what you want to say without any repercussions of what you say. You know what I'm saying? And people just believe it. You know what I mean?
That's
but
so true.
In real life, though, you know what I'm saying? Real people are hard to come by. Real men are hard to come by. You know what I mean? I feel you. I feel you, ladies. You know what I'm saying? I feel you.
See, and SBK, he making a very, very valid point. I agree with him on that. On that, you know what I'm saying? I agree with him about, you know, he's using an analogy that, you know, the men out there, they're like lions, then that equates to that masculinity. Notice he never called himself a teddy bear or anything like that. He never referenced himself like that. So he referenced himself and men being lions. We're going to do what we got to do. We got to want to take care of what we got to take care of and stuff, right? But he also mentioned, talking about the ladies, you know, they're, as long as you saying the right thing to tickle their ear, then yes, they're going to say, yeah, clock it, and all this other weird bullshit that they be saying all the time, you know what I'm saying? Because it sounds good to their ear. But when it comes to the point of that saying lying, holding accountability, right? Guess what? They ain't gonna be some saying all this stuff. They're gonna sit up here and make excuses. A matter of fact, since we use the analogy of the lion and stuff, right? Do you know that the whenever the lioness step out of line and stuff, right? Do you know that the lion will reprimand the lioness, right? And let her know that she done fucked up. Y'all understand that, right? Now I know this is dealing with analogy about animals and mammals and stuff like that, but shouldn't it be the same as that thing dealing with us as human beings where we see certain toxic behaviors where you're stepping out of line, or, you know, you got these toxic behaviors where it's not improving your well-being? Should we not have every right to address it and tell you what it is and give you opportunity to correct it? Should we not have the ability to do that without having all this pushback and sassiness and this emasculation type thing? You know what I'm saying? Should we not have that on right to do that? I say that we should, especially if we are truly operated as being men and we're operating our own masculinity and everything. I mean, why not? Why not? I'm just saying.
You ladies, whenever you say, you know what I'm saying, you know what, you know, you want a man with transparency, you want a man with communication, so forth and so on. You know what I mean? I feel you. But in real life, though, you know, folks are not listening to what y'all saying. That's all I got to say about that.
I think so. Let me tell you, man. I have never in my life experienced nothing like a black woman that care about you tell you about yourself. Like a sister.
See, this still going to what I was stated earlier about that, right? Where Um, he got himself put into a certain situation and stuff, right? And as he said, to say, his girl, whatever, blast him, right? But in reality, what happened is that she reprimanded that dude. She reprimanded him to the way that she wanted him to be, instead of understanding where he was coming from. And, y'all be two grown adults. Y'all both understand where y'all coming from, and y'all talk it out and use effective communication like two grown adults. You know what I'm saying? So instead, she ended up using a type of masculine energy where she ended up reprimanding this dude to make him feel some type of way, to gaslight him, to make him be, instead of his masculinity, make him be in this emotional state first. You know what I'm saying? And so now he thinking that everything that she's saying is the truth, even though he didn't mention what I was saying, but she making it appear that everything that she's saying, this is truth, and everything what you're saying is wrong, and you need to fix it. And so now he thinking that it's the absolute reality, and he lowered himself and end up doing it. For us, what I'm hearing. But once again, that's what I'm talking about in these type of situations where it's it be one sided. You know what I mean? Nobody don't want to hold each other accountable, preferably with women. They're quick to try to hold a man accountable, but they don't want to hold their own self accountable. They don't want to consider the possibility there are. They don't want to consider how did we get to this point in the first place, and what place can I do to fix it? But yet they want you to fix it. They want to call you out on it. You know what I'm saying? And so even with the one black queen and now just stuff like that, I'm married to a fine, beautiful black woman. You know what I'm saying? Based on my preference, you know what I'm saying? I prefer black women. You know what I mean? But at the same time, let's say hypothetically speaking, I didn't meet my wife. You know what I'm saying? I met another woman who wasn't black. Guess what? If that's my particular preference, then that's my preference. Period. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. See, I don't confine to this ideology that black women is these strong women or these strong independent women or whatever the hell that we be calling them to be. I don't conform to that ideology because I think that ideology is bullshit. I believe that there are some great women out there who have a lot of resilience and different things like that, but it's not confined to a certain race. You know what I mean? And that's what we also be missing out on. We be literally missing out on these opportunities because we be so conformed, we be so programmed to take this biased perspective. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
I can't do that, and I extend myself to a sister, a queen, who just gonna be like, we can just be genuine with each other, like I have now, and try to do something. But man, I'm not one of these brothers out here, man, that's gonna be out here putting down. I don't feed into that. You know what I'm saying? I believe.
Oh, my bad. That was another thing I was gonna say. He was talking about turn down black women or put it down black women. That is also, that is another feminist ideology that they like to use to keep themselves from being held accountable for their toxic behavior. Okay, that's what they use. So that's why I said at the beginning, and I'm gonna keep saying this over and over again, that the men out there, we need to be reconditioned because we've been programmed into this ideology. We've been programmed that we need to think this certain type of way. Then if we don't think this certain type of way, then we're going to be reprimanded by our women. Our women is not going to no longer have sex with us, or they're going to emasculate us, or they're going to say all this crazy stuff, right? And we're just going to bow down, like a scared puppy and just do it. No, that's bullshit. Nope. Sometimes it takes for you destroying something to build it back up again. So again, sometimes it takes for you to destroy things in order for it to be built back up again. There's a certain a mythical animal and stuff, and Lionel, he'll know what I'm talking about in this regards, right? There's one mythical animal and stuff, right? This mythical animal is known as a phoenix. Do you know that when a fetus die and stuff, right, it suffers a horrible death, meaning that this fetus get burnt up. Its body literally burns up into ashes. It suffers a very horrible death. But once when that fetus dies, guess what? It rises out of the ashes and they be born into this beautiful, mystical being. The reason why I'm using this analogy, that's the same thing with dealing with people, period. Sometimes people need to be reborn all over again because they got all this stuff. Sometimes they need to be destroyed so they can be built back up into the way that they need to be built back up, to be built back up to. Sometimes destroying things is actually beneficial. Like case in point, like an old building and stuff, right? This building been around for centuries and stuff, right? It's rusted, it's old, it got asbestos and all kind of stuff going on with the mold and stuff, right? Guess what? They'll send a demolition team and blast that building, destroy that building. Once when that building is destroyed, guess what? They'll want to clean up the debris, clean up the area, and they'll rebuild all over again, and that building will be brand new, as though as nothing ever happened to that building. Sometimes, as us a human being, sometimes we do need to be teared down. Sometimes we do need to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? With our ideology and the way that we think it, so we can be reborn again. And it's ain't this the same concept of what it's talking about in the Bible about being reborn again with the Holy Spirit and stuff, right? Where you had your former man or your former way of thinking, but now since you have the Holy Spirit, you're this new being, you're this new creation. In order for that to happen, you have to be teared down, you have to be destroyed, you have to be put to the fire. I'm just saying.
Conversations like this is necessary. Like, if we ain't lifting each other up, who the fuck gonna do it?
Then also lifting each other up isn't speaking positive every single time. We need to get over that bullshit too. Where we think lifting each other up have to be positive. You have to say something positive. You have to say things that people agree with all the time. Lifting each other up is also saying some things that people don't want to hear. Lifting things up is also saying some harsh truths as well too.
Say it again, Jimbo. Say that line right there again.
Me and SBK disagree on something, y'all ain't gonna know about it on here. We're gonna pick up the phone like players, and we may say, I'll be saying, nah, bro, I gotta disagree with you on that.
And we have. This dude checked me on a bunch of times. He's like, why you let that go on, bro? You know what I'm saying? Why you let that go on? I had to say, bro.
Yeah, everything.
There's a meaning to the madness, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, all right, I got you. But he done checked me on some shit, and I'm like, look, say, bro, do this for me. You know what I'm saying? Do this for me. You know what I mean? I need you to keep a level head. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But we talk it out like men. That's what real men do. You know what I mean? But the thing, look, the thing about it is this. Men are going to, a real man is going to admit when they screw up. They're gonna admit when I'm gonna keep it gangster or whatever. Real men are gonna admit when they fuck up, and they're gonna just go ahead and just pick themselves up after it. You know what I mean? But I respect. Look, whenever I listen to Miss Foxy and I said what I said, y'all remind me. When y'all talk, y'all remind me of my mom. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do. You know what I mean? My mom used to say the same type of stuff. Y'all don't take no BS or whatever. You know what I mean? Y'all are strong-willed. Y'all know what you want. You whatever. Y'all don't respect. Y'all don't respect no kind of man that's weak. You know what I mean? Y'all don't respect no weakling. Y'all have already expressed that. You know what I'm saying? And so I respect that. I do. But the thing about it is that in this day and age, you know, they don't make y'all anymore. They just don't.
I guess to throw a little shade. I mean, it ain't no grown women's out here on this internet like these two.
there really isn't.
Yeah, it's not. It'd be like, what?
I mean, you know, I'm telling the truth. There's really not any grown women out there like that, man. That's strong-willed. and I'm just going to tell it like it is. And I'm like my bro here, you know what I'm saying? I'm like my family here. I want a woman to just tell me when I'm screwing up. I want a woman to tell me, hey, say, man, you done effed up on that. You know what I mean? I need you to tighten up. You know, I need that. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And so I have no shame in my game on that. But at the same time, you know, we hold each other accountable.
Hey, I agree with you on that. Instead of them being on no more beefing channels that they just love to watch all the time, they need to be on more podcasts where you see other men and women who are actually, you know, similar to what I said and Foxy be saying. You know what I mean? But got to be open to it.
You know what I mean? We hold each other accountable.
Man, we was just we was just going at it the other day. Me, Samoan Gorilla, and SBK. And I think DR said it right? When it's a platonic brotherhood and respect is mutual across the board, you can get aggressive like that because SBK could say something to me, and I know it's coming from a place of, bro, this is what I see. You know, you my bro. I care about you. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff gotta be in place. And I did. And I remember when Samoan Gorilla came out and answered the phone, and I used a derogatory word. I was talking to this woman on the phone, and when I hung it up, Samoan Gorilla was like, "Bruh, that's a sister, bruh. You can't do that." But I was so upset of the act that she committed that it took me out of character. And he was like, "Brother, you can't move like you can't do stuff like that, bruh. You know, we better than that." So as a man and holding myself accountable, I got back on the phone and straightened.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I mean, if that woman was acting like, you know, how the way you describe her to be, then it was very valid for you to call her that, right? I mean, respectfully, you know. I'm just saying that doesn't mean that you're less than a man for calling her that. But once again, this is all dealing with this what I say, this programming that we've been programmed, especially in this modern generation of men. You know, we've been programmed that all these different connotations and stuff, that you have to do this, you have to do that, you know, you got to open up the doors, you have to simp out for women and do all this weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? But we need to be reprogrammed, period, to let them know that, I'll put it to you this way. There's a verse in the Bible where it say, make your yes be yes and your no's be no's. All right. What that means is that say what you mean and mean what you said, period. All right. That's what I mean. Now at that point where, you know, some more to my, well, you know, you're out of pocket, you shouldn't call her that. Well, at that particular moment, you know, he should be understanding the reason why you did it. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I call her is because she was literally acting like that for real. You know what I'm saying? And ain't no disrespect to her as a human being, but it was the behavior, how the way she was acting. That's why I'm calling out. You know what I'm saying? That if he was planning that way, then him as a brother, like, oh, okay, I get it. Or him being a brother, he would already understood the assignment by saying like, yeah, you know, she was acting kind of B, you know what I'm saying? You know? So I think, you know, in you know, situations like that, people kind of pick and choose when they want to, you know, hold somebody accountable, but at the same time, they'll probably do it in a private moment. Like in the same incident, it probably a girl that probably did that to him, and he don't got the brotherhood around him. He probably would have straight up called the girl B. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I'm just assuming
that, and whatever came with me straightening that, I deserve it. Right?
Yeah, because if she was acting that way, then yeah, absolutely. If that's what came out of my mouth and I felt that way, then yeah, this is what I'm gonna tell her. Like, yeah, you kind of acting like a me that moment, or wherever the case may be, you know. And I just deal with that
because I was out of pocket. So we hold each other accountable like that. But man, you know, I can't say what I called her, Lionel, because she deserved to be called that, bro.
Oh, we know what you called her, bro. You called her.
I'm gonna take a wild guess. I ain't gonna say nothing out loud though.
Yeah, but we got a brotherhood like that, man, and we look out for each other like that, and that's what it's about, bro. We push each other to be better. We check it, and the thing about it, we check on each other's mental health year round. You know what I'm saying? If I don't hear
Year
from
round?
SBK a couple of days,
Damn.
I just shoot him a DM, and he right. I don't expect to hear right back from him. I'm like, you good, bro? You know what I'm saying? And we move on from there. But and we talk about, you know, the sisters all the time, man. And we at a place where, you know, we like, it's certain things we ain't gonna speak on, not publicly. You know, that's conversations that should happen on the back end, because we get beat down publicly already. So why are we doing the work for others who feel this type of way about us anyway? Y'all know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And at the job, you know.
Man, I don't want to talk.
Yeah,
We
when
can
you're
have
working,
a whole show about that right there, bro.
yeah, when you're working, you know, and I think that's what a lot of women, and I love women. I don't want to. It's not that I'm not on our side, because I am, but I just think a lot of young women, especially young, and I won't even just say young women, because there's some women that's older and they haven't grew up and they're not mature enough. So I just see a lot of disrespect in women. Sometimes I remember when I was younger, it seems like in you know, a lot of women would like put their man down in front of other women, but then when they get with their man, they act like they really love them. And so I never understood that. Like, why are you talking about your man like that? He's already getting beat up in the world, especially at work. And a lot of men are not in SBK place. They're not the boss. A lot of black men have to be, you know, underneath, unfortunately, a clear man. And so when the man come home, he want peace. And it doesn't matter if the man is a clear man or a black man or whatever man that they're under, or whatever pressures that they're under at work. They don't want to be beat up when they come home too. And I look at my little nephew when I was talking about the young boys, you know, being family men and really taking care of their kids a couple of weeks ago. I really do just admire my little nephew, because he's like just 30 maybe at the most, and he really take care of his kids. Now, he have a lot of baby mamas. Now, don't get me wrong. He's not a saint or anything, but he always bring his kids together. I think he have like 4 kids. And at any given time, he'll have his kids like in the summer. All 4 kids are at his home. He live where I live, but he will travel 5 hours to Dallas to have a birthday party for one of his sons. Or he will go to San Antonio, wherever his kids are. If they have a birthday, if they have something special going on. I even seen him travel to Dallas just to go to a baseball game for his son. And I'm like, wow, I'm just in awe, because you just don't see that anymore. You just don't see fathers really stepping up to the plate like that. And
I would argue to say, why the hell the child mom can't do the same exact thing? Why the child mom can't have it rotate around where, you know, one moment he'll come and visit his kids in San Antonio or whatever, then the child mother would do the same thing, come and visit them back in Dallas. Why she can't do that? Why is it only just a one-way thing? Why are we only showing value towards what he's doing only, and not what she's doing or what she isn't doing? That's why I would say in that regards, because once again, it takes on 2 parents to co-parent, not just one parent putting you know, himself getting all this gas mileage and stuff by himself while she's up here chilling. You know what I mean? It should be a 2-way street. I'm just saying.
The women that he deal with, the baby mamas, they just totally disrespect him. Totally disrespect him. He paid child support, and he's just like SBK. If they need anything else, he try to give them extra, because his kids are at these places. And the woman that he lived with, she's not quite mature yet. She's young, and she don't understand. You know, she think it's something going on with him and the baby mama. And I don't know. I'm not there. I don't know if it's something going on.
I mean, of course, the woman would think there's something going on, because if this dude's sitting up here literally paying for his baby mama living expenses like utilities and different like that, then yeah, they think there's something going on. That this dude literally traveling to a whole nother city that's almost like 4 hours away to be with his children, but in reality, he probably set up to smash her. So Yeah, I mean, she had every right to think that way. That hey, it may be something going on. Versus him just keeping it strictly dealing with the kids, and that's it. And that's why once again I mentioned that whole scenario about why the children mama can't do the same thing. Why she can't reciprocate the same as that thing. If he's traveling 3 or 4 hours to get to them, why she can't do the same as that thing? Or on top of that, why they can't meet at a mutual location. So like in this situation, the mutual location that they could meet at between San Antonio and Dallas will be Austin, if I'm not mistaken. So they can meet in Austin. Meet right there in Austin and, spend time with the kids, whatever, and go back and do what you got to do. Why they can't do that? Why I always got to be him doing that, putting in this extra effort? I know the reason why is because, once again, it deals with that social acceptance, like I was saying earlier about Jimbo's situation, that it's this addiction that we have, that we got to be socially accepted, that we have to be looked upon as this positive person all the time. Why sacrificing the very core of our humanity while doing that? I don't agree with that at all, period.
Known or not, but she don't understand that his kids need electricity, they need water, they need food, and sometimes the child support is just not enough.
What the
enough? So she give him a lot of hell.
What the fuck? Hold up. She literally stood up here said that he understand that the child support isn't enough, so he give her more. Is that what I'm hearing? And then in SBK and Jimbo, they didn't challenge this. They didn't challenge this by saying, well, hell, she's a grown-ass woman. Why she's not working? Once again, it is not that dude's responsibility to take her lifestyle. His responsibility to take care of his children, period. That's it. That's why I said earlier, gentlemen, that if you're going to do situations like this, you might as well just put yourself on child support. And all you have to do is pay child support. Now, wherever the hell she decided to do with that child support, money check, that is solely on her. If she decides to go to Tahiti or go on the trip or whatever, that is solely on her. That don't have nothing to do with you. But you already did your part of your obligation. So now, who the hell cares? It don't matter. She should be a grown-ass adult working as a grown-ass mother to provide for the children. Likewise, when the children spend time with him, guess what? She's not paying his bills. Let's talk about that, because I'm getting tired of hearing this stupid shit now. Guess what? When the children come over and spend time with him, is she paying his rent? Is she paying his utilities? Is she sending food over so he could be taken care of as well too? Obviously not. Not at all. Not at all. I'm pretty sure she's not doing that. They're not doing that because they feel that they obligated. Hell no. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? We're equal, right? So if I'm paying all your utilities bill, you need to be paying all my utility bills when the kids come over. I'm just saying, but they're not doing that. So that's why I say don't fall for this stupid shit. Don't do it. Don't put yourself into that situation because you're not winning in that situation. You may think that you winning by spending time with your children. You're not winning. You're not. They're literally manipulating you and taking advantage of you in that situation, period. And I don't care what these women say about it. See, that's the thing I keep saying about, these women and they feminist ways and stuff too. They be thinking about this dumb stuff, thinking that it's cool. It get mad because this dude girlfriend or whatever is getting mad because he's spending money on them. Yeah, she got every right to be mad about that. This dude literally sitting up here spending his money. A matter of fact, he might as well just be married to them. He might as well just go over there and be married to them if he's doing all that. That's exactly how the girl's thinking, is that you might as well just go ahead and be married to them and don't be in a relationship with me because you're literally taking care of them. That's your family over there. So go and be with your family. Don't waste my time. I'm just saying. But if y'all don't see it that way, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
For taking care of his kids, even though he's paying for his kids. So I just feel like, as Black women, sometimes we have to kind of lift our black man up a little bit more and kind of have a little bit more respect for him and just.
So you're only going to lift him up when he's doing things right according to your ideology that he's doing things right. Gotcha.
Really kind of have a little bit more patience now. I'm not saying you got to take everything from him if he's not doing the right thing or he's not taking care of his family. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the black men that go out there and slave every day. And
notice the word that she used, slave every day, meaning that he got to sacrifice everything about him, including his mental health, including his income. That's to prove that that's so he could be socially accepted. I'm telling y'all, don't fall for this, man. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Taking care of their kids, raising their children, and trying to help their children out. I just feel like that we should, kind of uplift them a little bit more than what we do, and not give them so much hell when they get home.
Yeah, don't give us hell. Make love, not war.
Oh God.
That part.
Oh Lord.
Here we go.
Marvin Gaye said that.
And one more thing. Why I want to know how come nobody didn't tell us y'all was having a damn hat party? Because I'm looking at you and Miss E.
We didn't know.
And I'm kind of jealous now at this point. Because y'all could have told us it was a cowboy party.
We didn't plan it. I was planning on being petty because he keeps calling me. He keeps talking ish. So I'm like, I'm just gonna, keep wearing cowboy hats.
And
I got a few.
I swear, Queen. I said what I said. I swear, we did not plan this.
We did.
I was being. I have brought out I've got plenty of cowboy outfits. If you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, whatever, I wear cowboy boots.
You know what? She was saying that she was being petty with it, right? But in reality, SBK actually won. Bro actually won. You want to know how Bro actually won? Bro actually won because he literally converted E into wearing a cowboy hat like she's from the South, knowing good and well she's from the West. That's a win. She may thought it was being petty, but Bro won. Bro literally won.
I wear cowboy jeans. This hat right here, I'm not going to brag and tell you how much it is, whatever, but it costs.
That's Regina Hall, bro.
Is it a
You got a cowboy? Do you have a hat box for him? Because I got hat boxes.
Yeah, is it a Stetson?
I got a hat box.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then I already know how much the stats cost. I am in Texas, so
I know you are. I know you are. You already know what time it is. Look at.
I already know what time it is.
You know what time it is. My daddy, my grandfather, my family.
Oh, she got a fan too. Where the fans at?
You know what I mean? We are cowboys. We are country boys.
Y'all ride horses.
We got
she
horses.
Got a fan. Where them fans at?
Horses.
Oh, that is beautiful.
I like that. You selling them?
Now, Miss E, I'm sorry, sweetie.
Where them fans at? Where them fans at? Where them fans at? Come on,
y'all
Miss E.
y'all can pull y'all thing.
So, I had learned this. A lot of people is tired of the song now. So now that they are into Cowboy Girl. Is a Cowboy Girl? They into the song Cowboy Girl now. Since that whoa that song out. When I was on DJing last week and stuff right there, like, Lord, we kind of tired of the song now. Can you play Cowboy Girl now? I'm like, sure.
Kids out and y'all hats. Y'all can do all of that, but y'all, it's nothing like a Texan cowboy now.
It ain't nothing like a Texan cowboy. Exactly. We live this thing.
Rhinestone Cowboys.
I don't know nothing about no Texas cowboy.
Exactly.
All I know is Louisiana. That's all I know.
You know about Texas Cowboy. You know about SBK.
Okay, Louisiana. Okay, so I'll give you a pass then.
Thank you. I keep telling this Mickey Ficky, if you look at my father's pictures, he got cowboy hats for days and listen to country music. So don't.
Wait.
Don't come to me. This is New Orleans.
Wasn't back in the day them movies like Gunsmoke and all that? Wasn't them over there? And
yes,
over there.
Yeah.
Yes,
in Louisiana.
I'm like, wait a minute. I thought cowboys came from over there on the west. In the west. In the west.
No. Kansas, Texas, Arkansas, Nebraska, and
yes, I'm being petty. Yes, I
Oklahoma.
have to be petty.
Oklahoma,
Yeah.
exactly.
But I thought, it's Cheyenne and what's the name of them TV shows?
Ma'am, everybody else.
Oh, Lionel. By the way, bro. By the way, it has been confirmed. In my stepdaughter cheerleader season, right? It has been confirmed that one of her competitions is going to be in your state. So we're coming to Atlanta in February. All right, February 2026. We're coming to Atlanta.
Fake. Everybody else is a fake. Everybody else is fake.
They ain't no dang fake.
But I said what I said.
Everybody else
The Cowboys in it. The Cowboys in the. I remember.
Western coming from California.
I did.
Wait, they just hating.
In
They
real
hating.
life, though, Kansas,
In real life.
Omaha, Nebraska,
Okay.
Louisiana,
It's all good. It's all
So
good.
where's Cheyenne? Where's Cheyenne? Where's that?
Wyoming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when they was
what's
talking about
Cheyenne?
the West, they wasn't talking about California. They was talking about that West.
No,
They're
they
talking about the Midwest.
Now,
Talking about
Oh, they talking about the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I live in the Midwest. I don't see no Cowboys around here.
Exactly. They're talking about the
Exactly. Y'all
Midwest.
AI Cowboys up there.
Talking about the
everybody done
Midwest.
migrated from the South.
Oh
So,
Lord
they-
Jesus.
Beautiful cowboy had his sister over here. She's gangster with it. You know
My
what I mean?
husband too likes a little gangster.
He is.
Well,
Likes a little gangster
He-
in his woman. And professional.
I'ma give you a
Professional and
little-
gangster.
you know, wise advice that my mother told me, girl. You know, your testimony is private, okay? But it was never meant to be. No way. What she say? Your testimony is personal, but it's never meant to be private, okay? So tell us the baseball. No, I'm just playing.
Hey, I can't never, ever talk.
You
Yeah.
go beat their ass.
Yep.
Man,
You
I,
just
went
say-
back, I went back out there. It took it damn near took the National Guard Army to get me off of them. But I went buck ass crazy because I was getting my ass in that house that night. And the thing about it, when it was over, my mama little 5'6" self was right there staring right at me with her hands on her hips. She ain't say come home or nothing. I went to walking. She went to open the door. She said, "Now get your ass in there and shower." And put all this Vaseline. You know, back then the mama would put all this Vaseline on your face, looking like you.
Okay, so at this point, it sounds like they're just talking about some random stuff now, no? Because it sounds like they weighed off of decorum now. So, so we're gonna, I'm gonna want to call it here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna call it here. You know, we're gonna want to end it like that. All right. So, appreciate y'all want to tune into this final episode of me reacting to. Is Dating After 40 a joke or a journey? Y'all let me know what y'all think about all the parts that I said on there. If you haven't seen all 4 parts, by all means, go back and watch it so you can want to hear my analysis on it, where I give my perspective as well too. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Do y'all agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Let me know what you want to think about it. Even the one panelist that was up there on SBK, E, Vons, Jimbo, Foxy, and I said what I said. Let me know what you think about day on perspective about this conversation. Do you agree with it or you disagree with it? Also, make sure that you not only sub up to the Tap In podcast, but also tune in to the Tap In podcast tomorrow night. They are going to be on live tomorrow night. Make sure you tune into that and check out the thought-provoking conversation that they're going to have over there. Now, your boy Urban is not going to be in the house because I'll be working that night. I'll be working my DJing gig that night and stuff, but I'll catch the one replay of the show, you know what I'm saying, and, share it out and support it the best way I can, all right? So, other than that, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in to this stream. Make sure you want to hit the one thumbs up as you want as after one lounge. Make sure you have your notification on set when I do go live again. And we are out of here, y'all. Y'all have a great and wonderful night.